Welcome to the Deep Dive. Today we're jumping into something really interesting. This new kind of engineer that's emerging, the GenAI Application Engineer.
That's right.
Our mission.
Yeah.
Basically give you the shortcut to understanding what skills they really need, and maybe more importantly, how you can actually spot the top talent out there. It's moving so fast,
Incredibly fast. It's a different landscape.
Okay, so let's unpack this a bit. We're seeing this big shift, right?
Yes.
Generative AI isn't just a better tool. It seems like it's letting engineers build really powerful stuff way faster than before.
Exactly. This new breed, as you called them, well, they stand out in two main ways, I think.
Okay.
First, they're really good at using all these new AI building blocks, components they can snap together quickly for apps.
Bricks, building blocks.
And second, they use AI itself to help them code much, much faster, like dramatically faster.
Okay.
And I'd add a bonus if they have good product instincts. That makes a huge difference, a really significant bonus.
Right, that makes total sense. Let's talk about those AI building blocks first. What does that actually mean? It's more than just like calling an LLM API, I assume.
Oh, definitely. Think of it maybe like Lego bricks, but super advanced ones.
Okay, I like that analogy.
It's not just having a few basic pieces. It's about mastering a whole toolkit, understanding how these different AI components work together, printing techniques, agentic frameworks.
Agentic frameworks, like making the AI do multi-step things.
Exactly. Orchestrating complex tasks. Then you've got evils, guardrails, super important for safety and reliability. Retrieval-augmented generation, or RAG, that's huge for grounding models. Voice stacks, async programming for handling lots of requests.
Wow, okay, it's a lot.
It is. Data extraction, embeddings, vector databases, model fine-tuning, even graph databases with LLMs. And what's interesting?
What's that?
A lot of the stuff, even from a year or two back, like certain evil methods or vector DB frameworks, still totally relevant, even as brand new blocks keep popping up.
So these building blocks let them create powerful apps. But you also mentioned speed in coding. That's the AI-assisted coding part.
Precisely. And that area, it's moving at, frankly, a mind-blowing pace.
Faster than the building blocks.
In some ways, yes. We started with tools like GitHub Copilot, which was amazing for its time, right? Basic code completion.
Yeah, that felt revolutionary just a couple of years ago.
Totally. But now, we're seeing AI-enabled IDEs like Cursor, Windsurf. They do much more. Code QA, actual code generation.
Like writing whole functions.
Yeah, and even more agentic assistants like OpenAI's Codex, Anthropic's Claude Code. They can sometimes write, test, debug, iterate, almost autonomously.
That sounds like a genuine superpower for a developer.
It can be, but here's the key thing. It's a superpower in the right hands. Engineers who really get AI fundamentals, software architecture, not just, vibing code or guessing.
Yeah.
For them, the speed is unmatched.
Right, you need the foundations.
Exactly, and interestingly, the techniques for using these coding assistants, they get old fast. Like 1-2 years is ancient history sometimes. Much faster obsolescence than the building blocks.
Why is that?
Probably just fiercer competition, fewer big players in the coding tool space maybe, so the evolution is more direct, more Darwinian, you could say.
Gotcha. Okay, building blocks, supercharged coding. You also mentioned that bonuses skill, product instincts.
Yeah.
Why is that so important now?
It comes down to velocity, pure speed.
How so?
Well, traditionally, you'd have a product manager speshing out every little detail, right? Lots of back and forth.
Yeah, it's the classic workflow.
But a GenAI engineer with some user empathy, some basic design sense, you can give them high-level guidance, like build a UI for profile viewing and password changes, and they can just run with it, make smart decisions, build a prototype quickly, iterate. It cuts out so many bottlenecks. Teams just move faster, way faster.
So the downside of not having it is just slower development, more friction.
Exactly. Slower cycles, more handoffs, products take longer to hit the market. It's a real competitive track.
Makes sense. So, thinking about hiring, how do you actually find these people? You ask about building blocks, AI coding, but what's like the killer question in an interview?
Those are definitely important areas to probe. But honestly, the most predictive question I've found is surprisingly simple.
Oh yeah, what is it?
Just ask them, how do you keep up with the latest developments in AI?
Interesting. Why that specifically?
Because the pace is just relentless. You mentioned it earlier. Someone who has good strategies for learning, for staying current, they're the ones who will actually thrive.
Right, because today's hot new technique might be old news in 6 months.
Totally. Think about that Mary Meeker data point. ChatGPT hitting 1 million users in 5 days. The iPhone took 74 days. tech spending jumping 63% in a year. It's intense.
So what are those good strategies? What do you listen for?
You want to hear about things like reading key publications, maybe The Batch or similar, taking focused short courses like from DeepLearning.AI. Crucially, regular hands-on building, actually trying stuff out.
Right, not just reading about it.
Exactly. And being part of a community, sharing knowledge, that's very different from just, say, scrolling social media feeds hoping to absorb depth. That usually doesn't cut it.
So the ability to learn is the skill, almost.
It's becoming fundamental. In this field, effective learning isn't just a skill, it's probably the ultimate building block for a long-term career.
Wow. Well, it definitely feels like an incredible time to be building software, both for the engineers and the companies looking for them. Huge opportunities.
Absolutely. There's so much potential right now. So maybe the question for everyone listening is, what's one new learning strategy you'll try this week to keep building?